I'm Steve,
I'm Tom.
and this is Demagogue News with Things You Need to Know About, Episode 12, the Trump latest press briefing, things to do in the quarantine, and developments around the world. What's up, Tom?
Not much. How's it going, Steve?
All right, I'd like to introduce maybe our new listeners to the show. Things You Need to Know About is a show where we talk about what's happened, and not in a left or right forward-facing attitude,
Yeah.
but we just talk shit about it with our own biases and
we do have our own biases, but we try to give everybody a fair shot. So in between left and right, there's us.
that sounds like a good tagline to me, Tom. Press briefing today. Today is the 30th. How do you think that one went?
I thought it went well. I think that
It was kind of weird. There's a large portion of it was these companies that he was highlighting.
Mhm.
Not the most relevant in the world. I mean, yay for Mr. My Pillow.
Oh yeah,
Mr. Wholesome Man.
definitely want to get to him his little shout out to like things changed on November 8th, 2016. And I know he's definitely going to get some flack for like taking a partisan position, but at the same time, how many times does that happen in Hollywood and nobody gives a shit? Like for the other side.
All the time. Yeah. And then at the very end, he whips out, like, oh, I didn't write this down, and does a little preaching in that little part about bringing families and church together. All right, Mr. Wholesome.
Yeah,
I like it.
That's his thing, and he has every right to say that.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently in that press conference, figures will be announced tomorrow for new things. Because, most of the press conferences, X amount of money, X amount of things, this is what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So not the most statistical press briefing, but...
Yeah, he gave everybody their little shout out.
Right, yeah.
As far as, like, My Pillow's making face masks, Jockey is making scrubs, Procter & Gamble's making hand sanitizers, and also face masks. So, like,
and
little...
then, what, UIT?
Oh, boy. Yeah, United Technology.
United Technology.
UTC.
In collaboration with Raytheon. So, defense contractors. He didn't really highlight what they're going to do.
Mm-mm.
And that'd be very, like, oh, we got the National Guard, and we're kind of like, ooh, the National Guard's coming in. That's a little spicy. I think people forget how much contract work is done in military settings.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are they going to do? What kind of
that's
technology they got? What you hiding back there,
That was
Mr.
kind of worrying.
United Technology?
Because he keeps like the guy for UT, he kept talking about like the war.
That's the synonym now.
Yeah.
This is now a fight. This is now an aggressive act, and that's how we're going to respond. That's the metaphor that Trump's been using.
Yeah,
and
it has
now
been. It's just a little worrying. Usually, a lot of things happen during war that you could never get away with prior.
Well, that is very true. Maybe things aren't war crimes when it's a war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I was just looking at victory.
You're right. Stared me square in the face. All I got to do is take people's rights. Son of a bitch.
So
here we go.
That's very worrying. That being said, for taking rights and definitely a government takeover, that's on a lot of people. Well, not a lot. I'd say people of Stephen and my particular taste would be that we were worried of the government sort of taking over, but because this quarantine, this shutdown is so state-run, it's very improbable that you would enact tyranny at a state-by-state basis.
Yeah, that was a question he was asked. Should we have a national law? And multiple countries around the world have done that, where specifically China, I believe Italy. Yeah, India, Italy basically got a full shutdown of the entire country. No questions asked. Argentina,
United Kingdom.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of
so
them.
those are national decrees of telling you what to do. But of course, here in the United States, we're very afraid of a national telling you what to do type deal. And Trump was asked that question, and he pretty much shrugged it off with a probably not.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to happen. He likes to reference how these other states, they're fine. Some of these, not a problem at all.
And he's exactly right on that. Like, Nebraska doesn't need to do nearly as much as New York.
Yeah, absolutely. California versus Wyoming. Yeah, totally different story.
So, and going off of that, it's not like tyranny would be acted, like you were saying, Steve, in California, and then, but if you leave Cali, hey, you're scot-free.
Yeah, if you're in the communist state of California now, it's full martial law. After 8 p.m., they beat you up and rough you up and throw you on the street. But as long as you get to Prim, you get on that state line, it's all Guns N' Roses and it's all beautiful. That's not going to happen.
All hail Premier Newsom.
See, Heil Newsom. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So unless the real shit hits the fan and it is the end of the world, the martial law, we're gonna be fine. As long as you don't live somewhere that's really crazy right now, it's fine. It's fine when it comes to the nationalistic widespread policies. I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's fine now. Keep your wits about you. Keep your head in a swivel.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the recurring catchphrase now. Hey, keep your head on that swivel.
Keep your head in the swivel, baby.
But like, yeah, a weird thing, I guess. My family lives in Indiana. My sister and her friends, they met up at like their high school parking lot, and they were all just kind of like, 6 feet or more apart. That's where they parked, and they were just doing dance moves to one another. And a cop pulled up and told them that he could give them all misdemeanors for disobeying the governor. Like, to me, that's a little disturbing.
Yeah, that's the one question. New York's getting its. I mean, New York still has, between New York, New Jersey, and the rest of that tri-state area, still has half of all infections. So it's getting to be a really gnarly number. They're at was that 80,000, and we're at $160. So they still have half. New York's a very, ultra urban metropolitan area. It would be easier to enforce it there than it would be even here in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
It's very widespread. Everybody's got a car. So the municipality that wants to make that an offense, even though if you steal a car, you're fine. If you steal a car, you won't put you in jail.
Not yet. Not in Las Vegas yet. You can still be arrested for violent offenses in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
non-violent offenses.
Yeah, but living in Queens, like you're fine.
Oh yeah, dude. Go jack a car. Screw it.
Whatever. They're gonna give you a ticket. So if the same punishment's gonna be given for, I don't know, the severity of crime. Right now we're on the conversation of severity of crime, spreading a deadly disease. Well, like, hold your horses. I'm chill. I know that he's fine. I think if we wanted to make out, we'd be fine. So don't worry about it. That kind of question of giving out tickets that's gonna be a different one. I think that they would give out tickets and then they'd be appealed or overruled.
Yeah.
Yeah, unconstitutional, something like that, because that's just weird. So if tickets more like a threat to get you to just move along, get the hell out of here, kid.
I
think that'd be more the real usage, because I can't imagine they're gonna have that and they'll uphold in court that hey, Your Honor, I was standing next to that guy a little close and Jack in the Box. I'm sorry, in the drive-through. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Hopefully not. You never know. So going off of stuff in the United States, in New York, 2,900 hospital beds were set up.
Yes, brand new in the last 3 days.
Yeah,
right?
Army Corps of Engineers, definitely a good job on your part.
That'd be the other side thing. The National Guard's being activated. Well, the military can build stuff because they got people, equipment, and money. It's a double-edged sword of the Army Corps of Engineers. Well, those are enlisted men. Mm-hmm. It's not like they're just, the Seabees back in Vietnam were just civilians that were in wartime environments. They could do a lot, and we wouldn't think of that as being like boots on the ground.
Yeah.
Because if I saw like the 101st, Airborne,
it's going down,
coming down, like something's a problem, or the 501st, or the Ironmen in Pennsylvania National. Okay, that's some real stuff for some Marines, but there's a whole host of logistical portions of the military that could be used. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see those in California, in New York, and other dense places.
As long as they're not enforcing curfews and whatnot, I'm fine with it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, if I want to go somewhere at 8 p.m., even though everything's closed, I want that God-given right. I don't care if everybody's closed. It's like a small town on a Tuesday. Everything's closed. I still want to go somewhere. So, yeah, that would be interesting. Other stuff that Trump said, yeah, he didn't actually talk a lot.
No, they're getting shorter and shorter, I guess, because of the lack of new information. But some really important key points are that relatively soon we could have 5-minute coronavirus tests here in the United States.
Yes, within the next a week or so.
Yeah, it's coming up fast.
Being rolled out to hospitals and doctors all around the country. That's just more new things are being. That was the one gist, I think, of this press conference is, hey, guys, we're working on it. Look at what we're doing. Look at all these companies that are private industries that are working on it. We're doing shit over here.
The pace of how this is going is actually kind of impressive, too.
The FDA takes forever. We did it in 2 weeks.
Yeah, been cutting a lot of red tape. A company out of Ohio, I want to say it's Batil, they're starting to
Yeah,
be
he
able
said
to.
that name wrong like 4 times. I couldn't understand what it was.
It's Trump. What can I say? Dictation isn't, he's not a great orator.
No.
But they're able to sanitize 120,000 masks a day.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what that is. 120. Like, would we put the? It's a hospital. I
Mhm.
use the mask. We put it in the new bin that gets shipped out, and it goes to
Yeah, I guess.
Ohio,
Uh-huh.
and they put
Or
it in some fancy machine, and they send it back.
they're actually making new locations. So
Right,
I
you
know
said
that
in New
DC, Washington State, New
Yeah.
York, they're all getting their own, like basically Batille plants, and each
Right,
mask can be
cleaning
washed.
stations.
Yeah, 20 times for each mask.
So that's all good news. We were worried about masks. I know
Yeah.
my mom is a nurse. She's a home health nurse. Goes out. I've been hitting up all my. In a past life, I was an EMT at a certain point in time, so I've hit up my contacts just so I can get medical equipment for my mom because I want her. She's still employed. Lucky for her. I want her to be protected. But if we can have these masks being reusable, that's just more good things to hear about.
Yeah. And supplies, I know we've been operating from scarcity for a lot of this, but 9 different companies in the United States right now are making ventilators, and whatever we have of excess, we are shipping out to other countries that are hard hit.
Now we're gonna help the rest of the world.
Yeah, but
Here we go.
America first, and I don't think that's a bad game plan. If the Titanic is sinking, you can't save anyone else if you don't save yourself.
Also, the Titanic is fucking sinking in New York right now.
Yeah.
It is. The violin players are already dead. We're already like 45 degrees on the boat. Like, it's over.
We gotta save Jack.
Jack's already got the coronavirus. Rose has already dipped town. She's in Connecticut already. She's out. Yeah. Yeah, but and I think that shows that this is going to be, it's not going to be a small thing. If the government says April 30th, I'm thinking June 30th.
Yeah, and that is what he said yesterday. April 30th was when the social distancing guidelines were put forth. Trump predicts that the peak will be hit in 2 weeks as far as death toll. And then he says we'll
Hopefully.
probably be back to normal probably by June 1st.
Which, all right, now Easter, that's old news, Jack.
Yeah.
We're at June 1st. So once your kids are out of school at home, I hope that's working out for all of y'all who have children, this home education. I know. You got any teacher friends that are working on this new system?
I mean, my dad, he teaches at a high school, so he does
Are
all the
Indiana's
stuff
closed?
digitally. Yes,
Indiana's
just
closed?
about. I can't even think of many. I don't know if there's a state with open schools right now.
I think the two smallest hit ones, I wouldn't be surprised. But I know my teacher friends, they're trying to do all this other stuff online. I think we'll have an interesting discussion about education in about a year after this all comes out. But
I mean, there's definitely going to be measures in place after this as to what to do in a pandemic or state of emergency.
I'm talking about efficiency. If this works out and if standardized testing done is like, oh, well, there's not really much of a change, even though their last portion of education was not in a school environment at all, maybe we can do this more often. I know that my brother did senior year online, the adult education kind of deal, we did that portion. He did the rest of his, he didn't get GED, he got a diploma. So I think now by showing that if this does work efficiently, that could be a big avenue. Because I know,
and for employment too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all these companies are at home, and obviously things aren't back to normal. But if you could have that same deal, I think this would be a good conversation for the disabled community.
Oh yeah, it would be awesome.
Yeah, if you could stay at home and do work, and if you had a disability that didn't affect the type of work that you were doing, let's say in this office on a computer, and you could do the exact same amount of work as an able-bodied person, then there's now no question that you can't work at home. Why can't you work at home? We all did it and we were fine, so
Yeah,
why can't now it's just one person
Just prove
and they're on the webcam in the meeting? Bada bing, bada boom. I think that'll be an interesting thing to come out in the next year.
So, as far as like the virus itself, actually, I heard a good little tidbit from Dr. David Price at the Cornell Center for Medicine in the
Cornell University. Ooh,
yes, very Ivy League.
is it Ivy League?
I believe Cornell is Ivy League.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know. I went to a state school. So
I didn't go to school.
What he said for actually preventing the virus is that keep yourself from hand-to-face inoculation. That is the number way that anyone can actually catch this. If you're,
Right.
15 to 30 minutes of exposure with somebody is usually aerosol, so it's not as contagious via aerosol as we initially thought.
That's the one thing that was said before, and it was made as a joke. But at the end of the day, there's only like 4 holes into your body that are gonna let you have a virus.
Yeah.
You have an open wound, which, I mean, my hands get dry as hell.
Yeah.
And I'll have cuts like on my cuticles.
Ashy over there.
Well, that's a wound in my hand. That's the thing you have to think about. If you pick your nails or something like that, acne, open wounds, your mouth, your nose, your eyes, and the stuff downstairs. That's the only way that you get a virus inside. So as long as you maintain awareness of those things, you're fine.
Yeah, so don't go touching yourself in public, you creeps.
If you're going to jack off, wash your hands first. That's the rule.
Yeah, exactly. Keep those hands clean. Keep them off your face. And then, if you're going to open doors or something like that, use your knees, elbows, shoulders, parts of your body that you don't touch your face with.
What if I don't have knees, elbows, or shoulders, Tom?
Then you're a nugget.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah, that's a rough life.
Yeah.
Jeez.
What else did he say?
As far as Trump, let's get to the Q&A.
Oh, the Q&A was gold, my friend. Of all these press conferences, this one was solid. It was amazing. Hilarious. Questions are pretty vanilla. Asking about this, what's going to happen here, doing a national quarantine. And then at a certain point, he allows CNN to have a question.
Oh, his favorite news network.
Oh, man. I used to believe it was CNN.
It was.
The way he starts it off is like, hey, let's try this out. Here, give me a question. And they immediately attack him on the idea that Trump has been exclaiming how this isn't a problem. And it's, you've been saying, it's not a hoax. It's going to go away. It's minor. And what are you going to say now? And in true Trump fashion, what does he do, Tom?
Says, I have more power to invoke panic than you, than anyone.
Absolutely.
And I'm keeping this afloat here. Which, I mean, Trump's got a really good point. Like, okay, let's say you're on a plane and your pilot gets on the intercom and he's like, we're going down, like, it's over. Like,
pandemonium happens.
Yeah. So you want your leader to have a calm, like, cool, collected demeanor.
Cool hand Luke. Calm, cool, collected. That's the idea. And like to ask that, if this was Obama and they asked that question, it'd be the same question. Why would you ask me that? I'm trying to run this ship. Yeah, I know we hit an iceberg.
Yeah.
I get it. And we're trying to figure it out, make sure we don't die. I'm not going to be on the intercom and say, hey, everybody, run for your lives. Come on, bro.
If you're able to eject from the plane, please do so immediately.
In an orderly fashion. That was, and he, with the skill that only Trump can do, just poops on him.
Oh, yeah, he called it a nasty question.
Yeah, just this nasty question that you got to ask. Nasty women, nasty questions. Maybe Rosie's working at CNN now. That was amazing. And then he had a second question about abortion.
Oh, yeah, this one's bizarre.
Abortion right now, we're going to talk about that. Well, right now, I believe Texas, one other state, has outlawed, for the time being, elective abortions. So if you get preggers in Houston, figure it out, because it ain't happening in Texas. And she asked, how did he feel about that? Because the amount of abortions done far outweighs the amount of coronavirus deaths we've had in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether you believe that is a dead person or not is one of your own questions that you need to figure out. But they basically try to shoehorn him into making a statement, making a stand on something that would be, explode in every single other news network. Regardless, he does a good little punt to that one. Nope. He's good at that. Just I'm not answering that.
Which that question's really inappropriate for this point in time. I mean, we have the focus is coronavirus. So I'm not an abortion expert. I don't know what the centers look like or anything like that.
But if they are surgical centers, they could be used for, other hospital needs.
Yeah.
Outside of the coronavirus, you don't need an abortion right now.
And to be fair, I don't think there's definitely gonna be a drop in abortions because let's be honest, if you're not married or cohabitating with your significant other, you're probably
who are you getting on with?
Stay-at-home hub.
Stay-at-home hub. But of course, if you are married or cohabitating with your significant other and you get nothing else to do, wear a condom.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah, use protection. Be safe out there.
Yeah. Inside and outside the bedroom. Yeah.
Jeez. So going off of, the response, thus far, I would give Trump like a B+ for his approach to coronavirus. I think he's done a good job, and what I'm about to say goes against everything I believe in, because my bias is that I'm a like small government guy, very libertarian-esque. But I kind of wish that we just did a really strict quarantine for 2 weeks, get this out of the way, and then reopen America.
Well, that's the argument. I also don't believe in big government, but extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures, and we can't discount those types of requirements to be done in extraordinary times. This isn't just a normal Tuesday. This is a pretty freaking spicy Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why I paid for the government.
Yeah, like libertarians are in favor of a national army. Like, that's still a thing.
Yeah.
So you can also be...
And yes, socialists say, oh, you pay for police and fire. Yeah, well, obviously, back in the Middle Ages, we had firefighters. We had people at the wells, at the ready. And those were authoritarian governments. So you had them for forever.
Yeah.
And when the Black Plague comes around, and it's like, oh, we're locking down the whole castle. No one can come in anymore.
Yeah, or like the Pope telling people to stay inside and pray.
There you go. So even though I am very much for my rights that were written by guys 280 years ago, guys 280 years ago may not have been on the skinny about a worldwide epidemic that travels on these flying birds, these flying metal birds burning dinosaur.
Hey, they had the yellow fever back then.
Yeah, but you can't transmit yellow fever from New York down to Pennsylvania real quick. You're on a horse, you die on the horse because you get yellow fever.
As your source at Assassin's Creed 3, like, where are we going with this?
Yes, exactly. That's my only history knowledge. Yeah, Connor, the whole But now it's so easy. I think that's where the argument of like amending certain types of quote unquote rights or abilities. That's when now is the time where we find out like, oh, what is appropriate. And we could see from other countries.
Yeah, there's certainly a learning curve. And going off of other countries,
we've learned a lot. We've learned a whole lot.
Nobody else has ever dealt with this.
We had a terrible system before, and it wasn't built for it. And we learned a lot. That's what we really need to focus on.
And we have great, amazing people. It's genius.
Stable
amazing.
geniuses.
China. But India. We had talked in a previous episode about India and how there wasn't a whole lot coming from India. They are well below the United States as far as cases, but
by a lot.
Yeah, I think they have a little over 1,000 cases, which is Nevada has about as many coronavirus cases as India, and Nevada has like a mere fraction of a percent.
Nevada, there's 1 million people. There's like 1.5 million people in Vegas. There's like. No, I think maybe there's 2 million in Vegas.
Yeah, there's about like 2 million.
There's like a half or 3/4 in Reno, and the rest scattered on throughout the rest of Nevada.
Yeah.
So there's only like 2 centers in Nevada. So of all those coronavirus cases, 99% of them are either in Reno, Nevada, or in Vegas.
I think Washoe County has like 2 cases.
Yeah,
it's pretty low.
No one cares. There's 1 billion people in India.
Yeah.
And they are like sardines. You see any video like, oh, we're in India right now. It's like, oh, there's a gazillion people here, and they're all over the road, and they're all over the streets, and they have gnarly traffic because there's too many people.
Yeah,
it's New Delhi. It's a shit show. How is it that these people that are more shoulder to shoulder than New York? Let's be honest. It's more. It's not the same.
They have way more urban centers in India than we do in the United States,
and they're way bigger.
Mm-hmm.
New Delhi is way bigger than New York. And I'm not naming any other cities in India because I'm not very learned on Indian geography.
If you go to like Mumbai or like
there's a lot of
these are
other
giant centers,
and they don't have a lot. Well, that's weird. Now, is their testing on par? Probably
not. No, if I had to guess,
I would imagine that their hospitals are a hospital, and they get people that come in. They're not getting the amount of crazy amounts of people that other places like Italy's. Hospital system is on the brink, but India, I know they get lots of doctors and engineers from India, but like, hold on, how many you got down there? What's really going on?
Yeah.
Are your numbers accurate? Are you talking to Gen P over there? Talking to G?
Talking to Winnie the Pooh?
I don't know.
So India basically shut everything down, which is kind of tough. I guess what I'm about to go into, in the United States, our term for migrant worker is somebody from a different country working in the United States.
Right.
For them, considering, they're a pretty old population center, civilization's been there for a while, a lot of people in India don't speak the same language, or they...
Oh, the amount of dialects is
Yeah.
they're enormous.
So their term for a migrant worker can be somebody from another part of the country, and a lot of these people are living in cities like New Delhi. They're living where they work, and they're sending money back to their families. Well, businesses are closed down, so now these people are homeless, and then when they try to go back to their villages, they're getting beat up by police because...
for the fear of bringing it back.
Yes, the cities are on lockdown,
Oh.
and these people also, mind you, were planning on walking sometimes hundreds of miles.
Jesus.
So India is like the burning dumpster fire of coronavirus responses as of right now.
Yeah, I can only imagine that they don't have nice, orderly queues of people lining up in their cars, getting the face scan and a swab.
Well, yeah, these people don't have cars either. A lot of them.
And they also don't speak the language.
Yeah, possibly. Or maybe like rudimentary knowledge of said language. And on top of that, those telecommunications workers that we have in India?
Oh, yeah, they're all out of a job now.
Yeah, they're being told, oh, yeah, go ahead and work home. The problem is, and these are Americans telling Indians
I read that article as well.
Yeah, you
they
did?
Don't
Okay,
have,
great.
they don't have the equipment.
Yeah.
Because in not an awesome first world country where we have all these privileges, a computer is not just a standard.
Yeah.
It's more of a luxury. So they might not have a computer, or if they do, it might not be capable of doing their job.
Exactly.
Which may be absolutely true. They don't have the equipment, the headset, and the software, and all these things that require. And let's be honest, how many people are in telecommunications in India? 90% of them.
Hell, there's probably more telecommunications workers in India than the population of the United States. Like, it is huge.
That's probably severely out of proportion, but it sounds right to me.
I just want to paint it, okay?
That sounds right to me.
I'm like Trump, okay?
Every time I call my credit card, it's hello. I'm like, my name is John. I'm like, your name's not John. All right, Rashid, just tell me your name. Oh, okay, thank you, Rashid. Don't. That's the one weird thing. Why is it that they do that? Do they want to make it be more comfortable?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. And plus, it's like it would be hard for like a lot of Americans to pronounce a lot of Indian names. So I think they just try to like cut to the chase. Yeah, just be like, hey, I'm Rob.
You meet strange people around there. You know different names. Not everyone's Mark or John.
I mean, yeah, I know that, but maybe there's somebody in like God's country, Iowa, who, they only know Marks and Johns.
Well, figure it out, Iowa.
Iowas.
Yeah. Iowas. At the end of the world, it's Iowas.
Yeah. So there's also in light of this coronavirus, there's a certain figure that we haven't really been seeing a whole lot of lately. And I think it plays to his benefit. If you don't know him, he's probably taking a nap because he's a sleepy Joe Biden.
Yeah, no, he's not. When it talks about capitalizing on a don't let a crisis go to waste. Mm-hmm. This is the right time to do something. Anything, do something.
Yeah,
because everyone's gonna be wondering what you're doing, and Biden has now still not done anything extraordinary to stand out. In fact, there's been a couple primaries since the last time we really talked about it. Bernie's only 300 behind. That's not a ginormous amount of delegates.
Yeah, he could still come back.
Yeah,
for sure.
Especially this goes to contested DNC convention. Who knows what's gonna happen? But now's the time to stake your claim in something. Do something. And Biden's not doing that. And Bernie's not really doing that either.
He grandstands. He gets up and he says, "Oh, if I was your communist leader, there would have been Medicare for all, and we could have squashed this from the beginning."
Yeah, well, he's not doing anything right now. If I don't see it on my Facebook, that means that people aren't talking about it. My liberal and conservative friends aren't talking about it, which means the mass majority of people aren't really talking about it. But how many Trump posts do you see on Facebook?
Yeah, I mean,
they're all over the place.
Trump is everywhere. He's getting monster numbers for ratings on his daily press conferences.
He's getting the positives and the negatives. Well, Biden should be in that.
Yeah, Biden should be doing that too.
Biden should be doing that and getting shit on, and then getting praise and doing all those things.
He should, but honestly, I think that his campaign wants him out of the limelight for right now, and I think I had mentioned this in the previous episode, that they want Trump to take the brunt of all of this so that Biden can come out unscathed and beat him. But it's just going to play against them because people are going to associate Trump with solving the problem and that Biden just hid in his closet or something.
Yeah, yeah. Just because you're not the president doesn't mean you could tell people what to do. People do that all the time. And this could absolutely be the time where he could get supporters on his side. That's what you're doing. Get supporters. Now would be the time. It's not like anybody's at. We're talking about people not having. Liberals are always at rallies because they don't have jobs. Well, conservatives don't have jobs either.
Yeah, nobody has jobs.
No one has a job. So now's the time to reach people because they have lots of free time to be able to get them onto your side. And no, they're not doing that. So I wouldn't be surprised. And I mean, we even just looked at the next primaries, and many of them are delayed.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how that goes. We'll see if Bernie gets really screwed out of those. Now they're delayed. They'll probably be rushed. They'll try to make it go real fast, and and suddenly Biden's got all the delegates in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania. Oh, okay, cool.
That's what they want. That being said, there's a funny little rumor going around that...
Oh, an interesting little rumor going around, yes.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has been getting a lot of press time lately. He has a high approval rating right now. And the word on the street is, not Wall Street, of course, but that they would...
Or Main Street.
Yeah, or any street. That they would sub in Andrew Cuomo for Joe Biden. That being said, that would be political suicide.
And it would be just an explode. Imagine that. I'm Joe Biden and I'm resigning my presidential campaign. Also, I'm endorsing Cuomo and giving him all my delegates that none of you have voted for. None of you, what's his platform? Nobody knows. Mm-hmm. He's been busy with other problems for the past 3 months.
His platform is, I'll wager you that I can win this election.
Yeah, there you go.
Shuffle his papers.
He's a gambling man. Perfect.
Risk reward.
That would be a risky reward, and I would love to see it.
The Bernie Bros would burn down not only Milwaukee, but every other...
Which they have said before, that these staffers will burn down cities, but they would actually burn down cities.
Yeah,
that would be an affront to every value that they hold dear in an instant. That would be just Bernie would probably actually have a heart attack. I mean, he'd just be like the destruction of all his morals and everything he stands for as trying to be with the DNC, and then they fuck him again. In even bigger way, not like this underhand, like, oh, Hillary's got all the delegates, haha, Bernie, but like, no, we're taking this from you.
Like, we're just giving it to somebody who wasn't even in the
race.
We
waved the lollipop in front of you, and you might have had it. You might have had a chance. Who knows? Your hands weren't fast, but they were close, and then we're just gonna throw it on the ground and just smush it with our shoe, and be like, no, Bernie, go home, stay home, Bernie. That would be, man. Yeah.
Stay at home, but then come out to vote for us in November.
Yeah, that would be... It'd be Nixon Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. It'd be just an explosion.
It'd be horrible, though, because that's, like, out in the open.
Yeah.
Oh, and Cuomo gets all the superdelegates.
Oh, and now it's Cuomo against Trump, and it's like, oh, but actually, the DNC offices have been raided, and, oh, they're killing people. Oh, why is this happening? Oh, okay, cool. Have fun with that.
Yeah, so they're in a no-win scenario. You put up Biden, you lose. You put up Sanders, you lose. You swap Biden out for Cuomo, you still lose. So,
and also you burn everything down at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be an interesting one.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not in the DNC. That's all I have to say. Like,
I would love to be in the talk about being a fly on the wall right now.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Too bad you're not on their wall because you're quarantined.
Well, just get into one of those Discord chats that they all have, or whatever, however they talk. And just see what their kind of communication is now. Like, what's their game plan now? Don't do anything. Great. Inaction.
It's not don't do anything. It's
well, it's wait because
it's ambush. It's ambush Trump. Like, make it look like he's incompetent during all of this.
You know what? I heard they use that strategy for the past forever. It's not really working out too well.
They keep using it.
Yeah. Maybe one of these days he'll crack. He'll just say something crazy on TV, and everyone will be like, "Oh, I have seen the light. I now know what I haven't before. How ignorant I was in the past, but I am a known man now."
No, that won't happen.
No.
If there's anything that I've learned from watching this Democratic primary, it's that the the Democratic Party is kind of fucked. Like, let's be
Yeah.
real here. Andrew Yang was the only guy on stage during debates who was saying, "Hey, Donald Trump, he's the symptom, he's not the problem." Like, why did people vote for Trump?
Orange man bad, Tom.
Yeah, exactly. It goes to, oh, well, he's a racist, he's a bigot. Why would anyone do that? It's like, but people did do it. So why did they do it?
Well, we don't worry about the cause, just the symptoms. Yeah, because that comes down to morals and gerrymandering and people distribution and so many other problems that aren't the civil rights, the economy, environment, and abortion, and all the big five that you need to talk about and be on the right side. If they're not that, no one cares. Tax reform, blah 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 blah.
Well, I hope they don't care about losing then.
Well, we'll see about that. We'll see. I know there were riots after the last election. We'll see what happens this time around. But if everyone's in quarantine during the election, then you can't riot, because that's the law. It's big brain Trump. 4D chess. If everyone's in quarantine, you can't vote.
I've seen every possible future, and I chose the optimal one.
Yeah, man, he is Stephen Strange.
I am inevitable.
Oh my God, it's Jason Bourne. It's amazing. So, yeah, spicy things to wait. It's interesting that we're in. It's not me and Tom are both big history buffs, and we very much get into deep dives into the socio and political economics of things in the past. But now that we're in one, now it's like the fog of war is just right at our faces.
Yeah,
we can't see dick.
Yeah,
we don't know nothing.
It's weird not having foresight. Like, we can judge people in the past because we know what happened next. But now that we're in it, like, it's just like stumbling.
Sympathize with the bad guys.
Yeah.
See who the good guys were. Oh, maybe the good guys weren't as good as we thought. Now, a big thing is happening. It's like, well, fuck.
I feel like Mr. Magoo.
Mr. Magoo.
You're too young to understand, Steven.
Whatever. Yeah, it's an interesting time now. Interesting to see how everything's going to play out.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what this post-corona world looks like.
The post-corona world. You heard it here first.
Yeah. We trademarked that, by the way, so...
Also, these trying times is becoming more and more a thing.
Yeah.
I hear it so much. I'm like,
really?
Oh.
Shit. Okay, we
I
need
hear
to
it all
make the
the time.
t-shirt. Stat.
No, I want a t-shirt that says Thug in Chief with Trump smoking a joint with sunglasses.
Like the Thug Life memes?
Yeah. I want Thug in Chief. I saw that as the comments I was watching the press conference. I'm like, they're making that an insult, but that's
That's good. That's
Thug in
pimping.
Chief, baby. I could see it. I could see it be a thing. Yeah, put a little crown on him. Crown, like Biggie. Put the crown, joint, glasses. Yeah. It would work out.
Big pimpin'. So, you were talking about extending the quarantine in November. And
what happens if this quarantine goes longer than...
Yeah. Well, we've got you covered with the top recommendations for your quarantine.
Yes. Step 1. Go outside.
Yeah, for
Get
real.
that vitamin D. Something that I'm trying to do is, especially even if you have an office job, now's the time to get some vitamin D. Get a little color on you. Go outside. You don't got to do nothing. Read a book. Be on your phone outside.
Yeah, if you're going to be on your phone, just do it outside.
Yeah, just do it outside. Maybe take your shoes off, ground yourself into the ground. Pop negative ions, all that good stuff. Because the one thing that we don't need is people that are depressed. Vitamin D deficiency leads to depression. Leads to a whole host of things. So, number 1, get outside.
Yeah, that's huge. I'd say number 2 would be, like, don't pick up a bad habit while you're in quarantine. So, don't drink every day. Don't, like...
Now that no one sees you from your social circle outside of your family, now's not the time to become a slob.
Yeah,
or
just, smoke or drink or, like...
sit in, or, like, oh, don't leave your room all day.
Yeah, just waste.
Let's try to break ourselves out of this. It's really easy. I'll be honest, I did that yesterday. I left my bed like 4 times yesterday. It's like, oh, what's there to do? And it's not the right attitude. Gotta get out. Gotta do. It's not that you don't have to do something, but don't do those things.
Yeah, don't do something that you're gonna regret when you actually do come outside.
Because this isn't forever.
No, it's not.
Probably.
Hopefully, New World Order. But I'd also add on to that, pick up a new skill, learn something.
Yeah, I was playing my piano a couple days ago.
Hell yeah.
Learn a new song, do something like that.
Learn a language.
The internet is the largest depository of all human knowledge and information that's ever been in the history of the universe. Go on YouTube and learn something. I mean, at your house, we built a table.
Yeah.
Do stuff. Learn something new. And if you screw up, guess what? No one's going to come to your house because they're out their houses. So you can be embarrassed by yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually a good time to get comfortable with who you are.
Yeah. Or start something and be crappy at it. But there's someone here to judge you.
Yeah.
You're inside your own house. So that's a good one. I like that. Do something new. I think the third one is...
fourth. We're on number 4.
No, you just had 2.5. We're on 3.
Okay, whatever. Tomato, potato.
Stop prepping like crazy people. I know they're still out there.
Quit buying all the damn toilet paper.
Yeah, I'm actually about to run out.
Oh, I've got you.
Organically.
We have some.
No, I'm sure I can procure some on the black market. Give someone a little blow. Blah, 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 it's the post-corona world. I got some bottle caps. Trade those out. I'll be fine. But it's not the end of the world yet, guys. And it's not going to be the end of the world. And there's definitely a lot of people out there that, one, are still working. And I bet if they're healthcare workers, they're working their fucking balls off.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Pay respects to them, man.
And if they're working the day shift, well, shit, it's going to be hard for them to go to the Albertsons that closes at 8 p.m. They got off 25 minutes ago. So they only have one opportunity, maybe a week, if they're really digging deep. So you don't need to have all the stuff. It's not all about you. You're not the protagonist in the universe. Get what you need. Maybe stock up on some other things, like maybe not buy all the frozen pizzas, but how about buy canned goods? Maybe make your own bread. I've seen that a lot. People say, oh yeah, I made my own sourdough bread. Awesome.
Yeah,
flour lasts. Yeast lasts. Eggs, you'll get them. Do that. You don't need to have all the frozen pizzas and all the fake processed bullshit food. There's still veggies out there. Go buy her some bell peppers. Get some lettuce. Get some meat. You'll be fine. Stop freaking out.
I guess kind of going off of number 4 then. Reconnect with people who are important to you. And I've been seeing a lot of people are more comfortable with phone calls now. Like, obviously, chances are
I would agree to that.
Yeah, you're in your house. You don't have a job. You're saying, oh, yeah, I would have texted them. Yeah, I would have texted them, but I'm too busy. A, it takes like 2 seconds to send a text. But B, maybe just like call them up, see how they're doing. Hearing somebody's voice, it can be kind of therapeutic. You're getting that human connection even if you're stuck isolated in your house.
And hey, you don't know. Maybe one of your friends that you don't reach out to a lot, maybe they're having a real shit fucking time. Maybe they are, hustling paycheck to paycheck and they're having it rough right now. Maybe reach out if you got some disposable cash. Help buddy out.
Yeah.
Get that positive karma in times of desperation. Hey, Bhagavad Gita right there. I went on a mass text on everybody that I knew in my phone book a couple days ago. And I reached out to one of my old bosses when I used to sell timeshare. She totally forgot about me. She's like 65. I totally forgot about her. We had a great conversation. Found out she's a new grandkid.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cute as shit. Got blue eyes. This is the time where we have all this disposable time. We're rich in time and not in anything else.
Yeah.
Because we can't do anything or go anywhere. So now's the time to be people and talk to other people. Call your grandma. Let's see how she's doing. Call your uncle. Do that stuff. What's a good number? I don't know. What's a good number 5? Got round this.
So, yeah, wrap it all up nicely.
Wrap this shit up. Have faith in yourself. How about that?
Yeah, get to know yourself. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, maybe, you don't have to get crazy spiritual. I've been reading the Bhagavad Gita.
I've been reading the Bible lately.
Yeah, Tom's been diving into the Bible. These ancient teachings are here for a reason, and they've been around for only one reason. They're freaking good.
Yeah, and don't try to be edgy and like write it off like, oh yeah, it's just garbage and people in the past were stupid. They actually knew a lot more than you give them credit for.
Yeah, and they didn't have cell phones. Duh.
Yeah.
But they had a lot of time to think because they were poor, broke, sheep herders in the hills of Afghanistan. They had a lot of time to think. And maybe there's a lot more spiritual connection with God or whoever in those times. I don't know. I ain't saying that, but maybe now's the time to, one, have faith in yourself. One, maybe read things you wouldn't have read before.
Definitely read.
Even our secular people. Read Dostoevsky. Why don't you go,
Dostoevsky?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to say his name.
Crime and Punishment or War and Peace?
Yeah. Oh, that's War and Peace. I read that in high school. It's terrible. Maybe don't read that one. Solzhenitsyn.
Solzhenitsyn?
I still can't. Yeah, there you go. You can
Yeah.
pronounce it. He's a smart one.
Gulag Archipelago? Yeah, it's a solid book.
Maybe read things that are profound. That can maybe, give you new insight. Now they have plenty of time in the world. And have faith that you're going to be okay. You're still a human being. Hopefully you got 2 arms and 2 legs and you're capable. It's not the end of the world. Mongols aren't coming down from the hills. The Vandals aren't invading Rome. It's all right. And have faith that, being that you will do the right things, do the sattva of the Bhagavad Gita, do the things that are righteous and proper, that you'll probably be okay. Because if you reach out to friends and people you haven't reached out before, they have an interest for you to be okay as well. And it's a time to create social connections in your friendships, strengthen them, and strengthen yourself. Do some push-ups. Yeah. Wholesome.
Yeah.
Huh.
Demagogue News. Paragons of purity.
This is a Christian channel. Christian channel. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Otherwise, though, yeah, stay healthy out there.
Stay healthy out there. Yeah, it's the 30th of March. We'll see how things are for the quarantine in the next month on the dot. We'll see how it goes, but at the end of the day, stay frosty, my friends. Like us on Facebook, Demagogue News. We're on every single other podcast channel. Share us with your friends. Drop them knowledge. If you want to get that news from people that don't actually give a damn, how about you let everybody know?
Yeah, and if you want us to cover any specific topics, go ahead and post it on our page on Facebook.
Yeah, reach out. DGNcast, DGNCAST @gmail.com. Send us an email for terrible. Let us know. We'll go laugh at you. That's about it, people. Stay healthy out there.